she came and picked me up for lunch because she's like, I need to talk to you. I need to talk to you. And,
was she with Caylee?
I do believe Caylee was in the back seat. Yeah,
okay.
She was there. She came and picked me up from work.
Where were you working at the time?
Don Reed Ford, where I currently work.
Okay.
And she came and picked me up. She's like, let's go to lunch. I just need to talk. You know, I was like, okay, it's fine. I'll go. She came and picked me up, and just that she just was like, I just want to go. I need to get away. I need to, you know, I feel like I'm having a breakdown. I can't. What it specifically triggered it, I asked her. She didn't say anything. She, just basically that she needed to get away for a little bit. And I was like, well, you know, what about Caylee? And she's like, oh, my mom will take her. I know she'll take her.
So she was actually wanting
to physically go. She wanted to go to, like, an institution. Like, she said,
She wanted to commit herself, or?
Kinda, yeah.
What did she say to make you think that?
I was like, well, where are you going to go? You going to go to the beach for the weekend? Like, what are you going to do? I mean, this completely caught me off guard. She basically said she needed help. And then, you know, I was at lunch. We just talked to her, and we just talked about, you know, what's going on with her. And she was like, you know, I need to get away. It's just too much.
What did she talk about?
Specifics, I'm not.
General.
I mean, because she was happy with the guy at the time. She was.
Do you remember who the guy was?
Chris Stutz, I believe his last name is.
So at the time she was dating Chris.
At the time she was dating him, or they were talking, or I remember because we've hung out.
Okay.
But I just remember her just saying that she just basically wanted to commit herself.
Did you ever talk about suicide?
No.
Did you ever talk about what life would have been like without Caylee?
No, because she always told me she wouldn't change it for anything.
But as far as the emotional breakdown, she did say that, you know, Mom would take Caylee.
Absolutely.
And then she would get help, and you took that to believe that she would want to commit herself, put her somewhere where she can get counseling
better.
And get better. Okay. Is that the only time that you can recall that she...
That I can recall, because I remember it was a very emotional time. That's the only time that I can remember.
When was the last time you saw Caylee?
Casey dated Ricardo, who I used to work with at Don Reed. And one night she brought Caylee up to Don Reed because Casey was coming to see Ricardo. Caylee was with her. And that was the first time that Caylee's ever run up to me and said, Annie.
And that was early last year then? She was dating Ricardo?
It would have had to have been.
And he said that was the last time you saw Caylee?
That was the last time I 100% know I saw her at Don Reed Ford. That's the last time.
What about the last time you saw Casey? Not talked to her, would that have been Buffalo Wild Wings?
No. I saw her since she was arrested, since she got out of jail.
Okay. Prior to the first arrest in July, Buffalo Wild Wings?
Buffalo, July 5th was before all this happened, July 5th.
What about before that in June? Did you see her in June? You recall?
Late May, probably at a party we had.
Was it the no-clothes party?
Anything but clothes party.
Anything but clothes. What was your costume?
Dish towels and pot holders.
Okay. That was in May.
It was, I want to say it was Memorial Day weekend.
Between May and July 5th when you saw her at Buffalo Wild Wings, did she make any mention to you about Caylee going missing?
Lee messaged me on MySpace before July 4th, so maybe it was July 3rd. Again, I could be off a day or two. Mm-hmm. July 3rd, we'll say, because I believe it was right before July 4th. Messaged me on MySpace, hey, have you heard from Casey? Do you know where Caylee is? My parents haven't heard from her. They're getting worried. I text message Casey, hey, what's up? You know, I got a message from your brother. You know, what's going on? No, everything's fine. He's crazy. I talk to my mom every single day. And I said, okay, happy 4th of July.
And she never made a mention to you anything about any problems going on or Caylee going missing, anything like that?
No, sir.
The day that she was distraught there when she picked you up for lunch, where'd y'all go to lunch? Remember?
We were gonna go to Moe's. but it was really crowded, and I want to say we went to Wendy's.
Wendy's? And who paid?
I don't know for sure.
When you would normally go out with her, would she have cash? Or
Sometimes, every once in a while. Sometimes she'd have a card, sometimes she had cash. Most of the time we were both broke. We always went to places that, if we were going out, we'd go to places that were cheap or free.
Okay.
Did you ever talk to, from the time that Casey got arrested to today, did you ever talk to Lee or Cindy or George or anyone of the family or friends that would have had a similar story about an emotional breakdown, or Caylee coming to them and saying, hey, I'm having a hard time coping?
Caylee or Casey?
Casey, I'm sorry.
Well, that night, I got off work and I asked her how it was, how everything was going. I talked to my mom, everything's okay.
Okay. This is the text in July you're talking about, that night? I'm sorry, you lost me. You said that
after
night?
the day
Okay.
that, whatever day it was, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I asked her, how are you feeling? What are you going to do? Are you going to go through with this? And she'd say, oh, I'm fine. I talked to my mom, everything's okay. We're going to work it out.
Did you talk to anyone from this day back about Casey having ever had a breakdown with them? Like they go, hey, yeah, she can't, like with the story you just told me, did anyone come to you with a story of their own about Casey coming to them and saying, yeah, I have a problem?
I don't think so. Not that I can recall.
You just said that she had talked to her mom. And
She talked to her mom, and she might have talked to Chris, which was the guy at the
Stutz.
time. Yes. I think that's his last name.
So the root of her problem, in your opinion, would have been mom or Chris?
I don't think it was Chris. I think she confided in Chris.
Okay. So there's that ongoing turmoil between mom and Casey, maybe?
I'm not sure what the root of the problem was.
But there was a problem, you think?
Yeah, I don't think she just had this breakdown. I think that she was experiencing something, going through something. I just don't recall what it was at the time.
When Casey went to jail in July and then came out again, did you have conversations or did you go visit her?
I
talk
did.
to her?
I visited her and I talked to her.
Did you guys talk on the phone afterwards? Obviously, we took her phone the first time. Did she ever have conversations or text you or anything like that?
I did not talk to her on the phone, like on the telephone. I did not talk to her. She said that she was the one who would text me from her mom's phone saying, hey, the vigil's this date, be there.
Okay.
I talked to her briefly through instant messaging.
What were the conversations about?
Hey, how are you? Hang in there. Because after all this happened, I obviously was upset. I went through some stuff of my own. And she just basically, hey, how are you hanging in there? Tell me to be strong. I tell her to be strong. I'm here for you.
What did she tell you happened with Caylee?
The first time I saw her when she was out of jail, I don't think she specifically told me what happened. I'm trying to recall.
Just think overall, the times that you texted her or spoke with her or visited her, what did she tell you happened? It had to be topic of conversation. She said your daughter's missing and she went to jail for neglect and now she's charged with murder.
In all honesty, I didn't really talk to her about it. I remember her saying to me, when this is all said and done, I have so much to tell you. I know for sure, I remember that, because I was like, oh my God, what does she have to tell me? The nanny, the whole nanny story, really. The nanny has her. The nanny took her. She was supposed to be back by her third birthday.
Tell me about that. Why her third birthday? Well, what did she say?
I don't know.